I think we're recording. Okay, so aquí me voy a presentar.
Okay.
So, Peno,
Yes.
Francisco Guajardo, usted me conoce de cuando yo era chico como Frank Guajardo.
You're right.
Sí, ok, so vamos a empezar la entrevista y estamos hoy el día 16 de agosto del año 2024.
Okay.
Ok, so, mi primera pregunta es esta. So you can look at me.
Okay.
That's fine.
Fine.
Cuando usted me vio en la mañana,
Yes.
¿qué fue el pensamiento que tuvo usted? Porque no se acordaba de mí al principio.
I couldn't remember your face, but you know, things came back. The old times, you know, when the baseball, we
Right.
started baseball. Yeah.
Pony baseball.
Pony, yeah.
Pony baseball, wow.
Mm.
So this is one of the reasons that we're meeting this morning, ¿verdad? Porque pues tenemos historias que contar de way back in the 70s, which is now 50 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Wow, 50
Yeah.
years ago. When I was a kid, I was probably about, I don't know, maybe 12, 13 years old in the mid 70s when you organized the baseball team. So we're going to talk about that
Yeah.
in a little bit.
Okay.
But first, who are you? What is your name? What is your name and who gave you that name?
Okay. My name is Efren Perez, and I actually don't know. Well, the name was in the horoscope, or what do you call that? And my name was there, so they pick it out of there. Yeah.
And so who were your parents?
My father and mother was Marcos Perez and Antonia Perez.
¿Y de dónde eran ellos?
Originally, ellos venían de León, Guanajuato.
Wow. ¿Y cómo vinieron a llegar aquí?
Well, they used to come here todos los años a trabajar y los iban para atrás. Volvían a venir y se volvían para atrás, pero la tercera vez que vinieron se quedaron aquí ya. Yeah.
¿Cuándo fue eso que se quedaron?
It was way back. Fue como yeah.
Well, maybe we'll figure it out.
Okay.
Maybe we'll figure it out. ¿Y cómo se llamaban ellos?
Mi papá y mi mamá se llamaban Marcos Pérez y Antonia Pérez.
Y los dos de Guanajuato.
Mi papá era de León, Guanajuato, y mi mamá era de Cahuila.
De Coahuila. ¿Y
Yeah.
dónde se conocieron ellos?
I guess que venían cada en cuando, cruzaban para acá a trabajar y se conocieron en San Marcos,
En los trabajos.
de los trabajos ya.
En el algodón.
Varias cosas, mucho era limpiar las labores y todo porque no había caminos todavía para acá, eso, trabajaban donde hubiera trabajo casi.
Ellos dos eran bien trabajadores.
Bien trabajadores ya.
Ujú.
Ya.
¿Y usted sabe más o menos cuándo se establecieron aquí en Elsa?
Bueno, a Elsa llegamos el 1940, ya, 1940.
¿Usted dónde nació?
Yo nací en Tynan, Texas, condado de Beaver.
¿El nombre del pueblo? ¿Cómo?
Es Tynan, Tynan, Texas.
Steinen, Texas.
Yeah.
Porque en ese tiempo andaban en los trabajos.
Yes, yo sí andaban trabajando ya.
And so what day were you born? Exactly what day?
In July the 9th, 1937.
July the 9th. So you just had a birthday.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Did you celebrate your birthday?
Every birthday me lo celebran mis hijos.
See? Wow, 1937. And so when you were born in 37, you were one of how many kids?
I was the 10th kid. Eran 10.
14.
Wow.
14. I'm sorry.
You were the 10th of 14,
Right.
Oh, he was
No.
at 14.
There was 14 kids.
and you were the
Okay,
14th.
Yeah. But four of them died at early age. So
10 lived,
10 left.
and
yeah.
you were the 10th.
Yeah, right.
And so the oldest one in the family was how many years older than you?
Oh my God. He was
20?
20-something.
20 something, yeah.
So su mamá empezó a tener sus niños a qué edad?
Well, I guess she was about 15 years old.
About 15 years old.
Yeah.
Wow. ¿Y el más grande quién era?
El más grande
Que vivió.
que vivió era Darío Pérez. He was a musician. Yeah. He had an orchestra también.
¿Dónde?
Estaba en Biville, Texas, y luego se cambió para Victoria.
Huh. Darío Pérez. So, okay, so there's a photograph here. I'm sorry to... Le voy a pasar por aquí. Pero aquí, este era su hermano mayor, Darío Pérez, que tuvo una orquestra, dice usted.
Yes, that's right.
Y bueno, ¿habían otros en la familia que eran músicos también?
Yes.
¿Quiénes eran músicos?
Mi otro hermano era Abelito Pérez. A él le decían el duque del saxofón. Yeah.
Por Duke Ellington, el saxofón, es que era muy grande.
I guess so.
Wow.
And he played with a lot of people, Pedro Ayala, and a whole bunch of
So-
musicians.
So, si su hermano mayor era músico,
Ajá.
él tenía que haber nacido y tenía que haber sido músico en los 30s y 40s, ¿verdad? Porque él nació probablemente en los 20s,
Sí, algo así.
if not the teens.
Yeah. Ellos estaban en un rancho y luego había un señor que era músico ahí y el señor trabajaba con mi papá y luego se le acabó el trabajo y luego mi papá le dijo, enseña a mis hijos a música, dijo, y te doy el hospedaje gratis, digo, con comida y todo. Pues el señor se enseñó, se quedó ahí y enseñó a mis dos hermanos, a Abelito y a Darío.
Hmm. Wow.
Y aprendieron de todo. El
todo.
señor era buen músico,
Ajá.
aprendió violín, guitarra, saxofón, everything.
¿Y usted se acuerda del nombre del señor? Del señor que les enseñó.
No, pues eso fuera ya.
Pero usted ya está,
No, yo todavía no nacía.
todavía no nacía.
No.
Okay, so this is the 20s and 30s.
Yeah, right.
This is 100 years ago.
Yo. Ya mero.
Ya mero, I mean, we're in
Yeah.
2024.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Y bueno, ¿cuántos años vivió Darío?
Pues casi no tengo mucho recuerdo yo, pero yo sé que en los, se me que en los 80s, algo así, ¿no?
In the 80s?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he would have been, ¿cuántos años vivió él?
Might have been in the early 80s.
Early 80s? In his early 80s. So then he would have died like
Yeah.
maybe 20 years ago, maybe? Más o menos,
Possible.
como el 2002, 2003, más o menos.
Sí.
¿Y él siguió con su música?
Sigo con esa música, pero hasta que después tocaba nomás como cuando venían festejos o la gente le hablaba para que fuera a tocar, ¿verdad?
Okay.
Pero he retired, he was,
Era mecánico.
Era mecánico.
Yeah. Bueno,
Correcto.
Darío era mecánico.
Okay, ¿dónde?
Built his own,
Darío trabajó con la Chevrolet allá en Biville, yo
Oh.
creo por allá.
Pero él vivió aquí también o no?
no.
No.
Vivió cuando estaba recién casado nomás,
Okay.
pero aquí no había mucho trabajo y se fue.
Se fue para Beeville.
Yeah, right.
Y
Se fue
allá-
para Biville y ahí se fue para Victoria.
Ah. ¿Y él tocó con alguna banda que tenía nombre?
He had his own band.
Ajá. Y era que el Darío Pérez.
Darío Pérez Orchestra,
Wow.
que era este que estaba ahí. Yeah.
And do you have music of Darío Pérez Orchestra? Or?
Tenía ahí unos tapes viejos,
There's
you know.
actually a song he wrote on YouTube.
Yeah.
Really? So we can find it on YouTube.
Mm.
Darío Pérez Orchestra.
Yeah.
¿Qué tal? Y Darío tuvo familia.
Yes, yeah.
Ajá. And so the family would be out in Beeville or somewhere else?
Uh,
Victor.
in Victoria.
Victoria.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Victoria. Okay.
They're also in their
They're all-
90s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, see? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because they would have been
Yeah.
born in the maybe early 30s.
Yeah. See, because I was born in 37, so in the 40s, yeah.
So then Darío was probably born in the teens,
Yes.
1918,
Yeah.
1919
What-
maybe.
Yeah, I think he was born about 6 months after me. A ver, no.
Right.
En el calendario.
The-
Que de su cumpleaños dice.
Sí, right.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, because
Y de los otros hermanas, ¿dónde permanecieron ellos? ¿Dónde vivieron? Usted es el último, dice, ¿verdad?
sí, right, yeah.
So where did they live, your brothers and sisters, besides Victoria?
Pues casi todos, we all came to Elsa.
You
The
came to
rest
Elsa.
of the family, yeah.
Okay.
And aquí vivieron casi todos. Yeah.
And did your parents came to Elsa also?
Right, yeah, we moved to Elsa.
And do you have an idea of when your mother was born and when your father was born?
I used to have the I have a book there that's
Yeah, because I'm gonna guess
Mhm.
that your father would have been born about 1898, and your mother would have been born about
Right.
1904, 1903.
No.
No?
No,
My grandfather was born in 1884.
Your grandfather was born 1884.
And my grandma was born in 1894.
1894. So there was a 10-year difference.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mhm.
1894.
yeah,
So that means that he was born when your grandmother was 43 years old,
40-some.
más o menos.
My uncle Darío was married when my grandma was pregnant with my dad. And
Okay.
his wife was
Okay.
expecting at the same time my grandma was.
So that he was already married, and his wife was expecting when you were born.
When he was,
Yeah,
when my grandma
in
was-
1937, July 9th, 1937.
right.
And so when your parents came to Elsa, they brought the rest of the kids who were young, ¿verdad? How old were you? Did you say you were about 3 or 4 years old?
Yes,
So 1940, 1941, más o menos?
I think it was 1940, middle of the 1940.
Middle 1940.
Yeah,
So it was still a year or two before the war,
right. Yeah.
World War II.
Yeah. Mhm.
Did you have any brothers who went to the war?
Yes, my brother Bonifacio Pérez, he was in World War II. Yeah,
¿Y regresó él?
yeah, he came back. Yeah,
Ajá.
I think
So-
he was in the Air Force. And
In the Air Force?
yeah,
So Bonifacio would have been born in the 1920s.
more or less. Yes. Yeah.
Y él vivió aquí por muchos
Yes,
años.
yeah.
After the war se regresó.
Sí,
Yeah.
aquí se casó y todo.
Y tuvo su familia.
Yeah. You're right.
¿Y quiénes son los de la familia de Bonifacio?
Pues su esposa era Amada Cantú, and he only had two, two one two girls,
Okay.
and they all passed away already. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so when your parents came and brought the family, what is it that your parents did for a living? What did they do for a living?
Well, they came and they worked in the fields. This was when the valley was beginning to grow, So they were clearing the land from trees and all, all the stuff, things that were here. So they work in the fields, cutting down trees, cleaning up the ground, and so uh, that's when they started making the land here in the valley.
Of the children who came, were any of them musicians?
My brother Dario,
No, of the ones who came to
Yeah.
to Elsa.
well, he started here in Elsa.
Okay.
Uh, all his grandsons, they were musicians. They play in bands, and Bonifacio, no, he didn't have no kids,
Okay.
no boys.
So how is it that the service station was born? What's the story there?
Oh, I wish you could let me know about it. I had some pictures.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we started with like 10 by 10 building and two gas pumps that you had to pump by hand to put the gas up the, the pump, and then it would come down by gravity. You open it up, and then it was the glass, and it would measure how many gallons, and when you pull the nozzle, the gas would come down. Then you would determine how much gas you wanted in there.
How old were you when your family opened up the gas station? And did they build it, or did they get it from someone else, or what?
No, they built it. My dad built the
Your father?
yeah. He built. It was just a small house.
And that was on the corner of 9th and Broadway. Ciro Cáceres and Broadway.
Right. Yeah. It was right.
It was right on the
yeah,
corner.
Yeah.
I've seen pictures of that.
Yeah.
We have a lot of people.
We
You have a lot of
I
pictures,
had no
yeah.
idea you were gonna
Okay.
ask.
I mean,
Yeah.
life story.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, más o menos qué año fue cuando establecieron el negocio ese?
Was I was about 2 years old, so 2-3 years. I mean, we came over here when I was 3 or 4 years. So right after that, 5 years after that, probably is when they stopped working on the fields. So they decided they wanted to make a business. So they made the building for the service station. Yeah.
Why would your father and his brothers, was it his brothers or his brother who opened up the gas station?
Just my father.
Just your father.
Yeah.
Why would your father open up a gas station? Who inspired or motivated or gave him the idea?
Well, there was actually there was barely service stations in here, So, and the part where we were living, I don't think there was. In this Elsa town, there used to be a division, from the railroad tracks up this way was a Mexican part of people who were living, and the other side was the Anglos. So over here there was, on the Mexican side there was no service stations. So that's why I think my father decided to make one there.
Because the Sinclair gas station was on the south side of town,
Right. Yeah.
and there may have been another one.
Probably so. Yeah.
So your father then opened up a gas station
Uh-huh.
where la gente mexicana vivía,
Right. Yeah.
porque gente mexicana también tenía carros.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Pero ellos no podían ir allá para el sur para comprar gas, ¿o sí?
During that time, it was very hard. For example, if we went to school, if we cross over on the other side, the Anglo guys would throw rocks at us, and and pick fights with us. I used to have a lot of fight with the Anglo guys because it was kind of segregated.
So, when you were a little boy,
Uh-huh.
did you go to school?
Oh yes.
Which one?
I was here I started here in Elsa. Is It was an old school. We only went up to fourth grade, I think.
¿La escuela mexicana?
No. It's Americana. We were trying to learn English. So I went to beginner first grade, and then first grade, and then beginner second grade, second grade. We had to go, like 6 months, 6 months, so we could learn the English and how to deal with
And where was that school?
here in Nelson.
Where?
Oh my God, it's
Somewhere over there.
Was that the lot 25?
Somewhere behind.
yeah.
Right, it's on, like, maybe donde vivía enseguida de donde vivía este señor que era electricista, Rodríguez, Martín Rodríguez,
Martín Rodríguez.
un flaquito
Flaquito.
electricista. Ahí enseguida de él hay un lote que está abierto,
Oh, ok, entonces.
el lote 25.
Ok, entonces allí era donde estaba el.
Escuela Colorada, decía.
La escuela,
No, esa no era la escuela colorada.
la escuela colorada estaba en Ed Couch.
Sí, esa era.
Le decían la Red Brick School.
Yeah.
Right.
Bueno, ¿usted cuántos años fue a la escuela que estaba allí? Más o menos como on 7th Street, I think.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, 'cause
Ah,
so,
Ahí,
pero-
4 años fui allí.
4 años.
Yeah.
Beginner first.
Beginners, second, third, and fourth. I mean, yeah, fourth, yeah. Then at the fourth, they made the intermediate school, and then they moved us over there.
The what school?
Era intermediate, o sea,
Intermediate.
yeah.
Mm.
It was 7th and 8th grade.
Ujú.
Yeah.
Y para cuando usted llegó a su cuarto año en la escuela,
Ujú.
usted ya tenía como unos, ¿qué? 11, 12 años.
Por ahí más o menos, ya. Yeah.
Y ya era de edad para trabajar.
Sí, pero nunca trabajé.
¿Cómo?
Pues I was always dependent because I was going to school. So my father had the service station. So I was in school. When I came back, usually after school I would go to work with him.
So you did work, but it was at the family
yeah,
business.
Yeah,
Helped.
yeah.
And you were, what, 9, 10, 11 years old, and you were helping.
Yeah, right.
How many hours a day? 1 hour a day? 2,
Well,
3?
the rest of the day when we came back from
Como de
school.
4 a 7.
Well, during that time, they used to close the service station like 10 o'clock at night.
Oh.
It was a lot of people here, and we had contratados,
Braceros.
braceros, and the other side of the railroad tracks there was a barracks there where they had the braceros, and there was a lot of work, and so they used to work in the service station there almost to 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. Yeah.
And so you had gas, but you also sold other things.
No, we used to fix there was a lot of trucks. So we used to fix a lot of flats for the big trucks and tandems and all that.
Para los troqueros
Troqueros,
que sacaban a
right.
los
Yeah, yeah,
trabajadores.
Oil
Yeah.
changes.
Yeah.
Car
Wow.
washes.
And so we're looking here at the late 40s, early 50s.
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah, more or less. And then you were maybe about 11, 12 years old, 13 maybe
Oh.
when you stopped going to school.
Yes. Yeah.
And then when you stopped going to school, why did you stop going to school?
I stopped going to school because I was 20 years.
Did
Just
you
turned.
went to high school now?
Yeah, I went to high school.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and I was ready to graduate on my last year. I think I had months. I needed one more credit, so I was going there just to finish that credit. But then I decided to join the service, and I went to the Marine Corps. And when I went there, they saw my records and they said, "We're going to send you to school here." So they sent me to school there, and I got my diploma from Camp
Okay.
Pendleton.
Okay, so that you went to 4 years of elementary school,
Yes.
and then you kept going,
Yeah.
and then you would have graduated from high school,
yeah,
except that you enlisted
Yeah. 55. I would have.
in '55.
Yeah.
But he
And-
played football and everything.
You played football in high school?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
There's
You,
pictures.
so,
I wasn't football and track.
uh-huh. And there was no baseball.
Uh, no, I don't think so.
But there was baseball in La Bodega, al sur de La
Oh
Bodega.
yeah. Oh yeah. They had the baseball team there was called the Bonitas.
The Bonitas. And they
Yeah.
were where? Out of the Valsing packing shed?
Oh, right. Yeah.
What do you remember about that?
Oh, was some of the players, they had good pitchers. They had a good team, and a lot of guys that grown up, right? Yeah, they already passed away, but they used to play there.
And that was a big deal.
Yeah, yeah, they had a good field to play. We used to get a good crowd there to when they were playing.
So you would go to those games?
Oh yeah,
But it was on the Anglo part of town.
right, yeah.
No problem going to the games?
No problems because I think the company there gave us the lot or let us have the lot, because we advertise their company.
Perez did. The Perez gas station advertised.
Well, everybody. But I think it was a Waltzing company, and we advertised the company, so
And so those players, they went out in uniforms?
Oh yeah, they had uniforms.
¿Y qué decía on the jersey?
Uh,
Bonitas. Los Bonitas.
Bonitas, something like that. Yeah.
Wow. And it was fast pitch.
Oh yeah, fast pitch. Yeah.
And
We
so
had good pitchers.
You had good pitchers.
Yeah.
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 I heard a story once from Ramon Zavala.
Okay. Yes.
¿Se acuerda usted de
Yeah,
Ramon
right.
Zavala?
Yes.
He was a mechanic for the Valsing shed.
Yes. Uh-huh.
So you remember that there was a Valsing shed
Mm-hmm.
right on the south of the railroad tracks?
Uh-huh.
And then 4th Street was there.
Yeah.
And right on 4th Street, the Valsing Bodega built a mechanic shop.
Yes.
And the mechanic there for many years was Ramon Zavala.
Yes. Uh-huh.
And so he worked there until Valsing closed down. Then he went to work with Ove Leal
Yes.
at Rogers Produce in Edinburg.
Right. Yeah. That's right.
¿Sí se acuerda de todas estas
Yeah,
gentes?
oh, yeah,
Sí.
yeah.
Bueno, Ramón Zavala me contó hace como 25 años, antes de que él muriera, me contó que en la Valsing buscaban peloteros buenos de acá de la frontera, de Tamaulipas, de Nuevo León,
Mhm.
de San
Right,
Luis, y si eran peloteros buenos, les daban trabajos en la Valsing.
Right.
You know the story?
Yeah. Because there was a lot of guys that played. They were good pitchers. Good pitchers.
Y había uno que era bien moreno, bonito.
Oh yeah.
What?
Yeah, I remember him.
Yes?
Yeah. I
¿Cómo
remember
le
him.
decían?
I can remember.
El
his-
Moro.
Yeah. Yeah.
¿Sí se acuerda del Moro?
Sí, yeah, yes.
He was a good pitcher.
Yeah. It was really dark. Yeah.
He was very dark.
Yeah.
Le decían el Moro y le dieron trabajo.
Right. Yeah. That's how come they got the players también. Yeah.
y donde jugaban ellos,
Ajá.
bueno, this is, se me va ocurriendo ahorita.
Ajá.
Donde jugaban ellos, donde estaba la baseball field, es donde yo me crié,
Ah, sí. Oh, yeah. Bueno, allí
en los
los
proyectos.
proyectos, ya. Pero ustedes, tu papá después en la calle que seguía, de que ahí fue donde comenzaron a vivir ellos. Yeah.
Sí, bueno, porque lo que pasó ahí es que los juegos de béisbol
Yeah.
eran en los 40s y los 50s and into the early 60s.
Yeah.
Y Volsing les hizo una field
Yeah. Yes.
y
Uh-huh.
toda la comunidad venía allí.
Yeah.
Pero en los 60s,
Ujú.
cuando el presidente OBJ
Uh-huh.
tuvo programas para hacerle casas para la gente pobre, hicieron los proyectos donde estaba la baseball field.
Yeah, that's right.
Y ahí on 3rd Street, 302 West 3rd, es donde me crié yo.
Yeah.
En los proyectos donde tenían baseball fields, donde pichaba el moro, donde ustedes iban a ver los juegos.
Yeah.
Y luego al cruzar la calle después, en los 70s, es cuando Esperanza Salinas hizo una biblioteca.
Okay.
The first library in the city of Elsa, right across the street from our apartment. And that's where I would spend a lot of days reading in the library. Era cuando Jorge Salinas corría the Housing Authority.
Yes. Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah.
¿Usted nunca jugó béisbol?
Not no, en la escuela no. Se me hace que not in the top, in the top.
Right.
Yeah,
Pero en la comunidad.
En la comunidad sí. Yeah.
Ok. ¿Y sus hermanos jugaban béisbol?
No.
¿En la comunidad?
No, yo
No, ok. Ok. Porque mi pregunta que tengo yo es que, ¿por qué béisbol para usted?
It was the only pastime for us. I remember we used to make the ball from rags and tape and this and that, you know, and we had a team, you know, and we used to play the other barrios, you know, and that was the best time.
So, as you move into the 70s,
Uh-huh.
you're already, in your 40s,
Okay.
¿verdad?
Mhm.
Y en ese entonces, ¿dónde trabajaba usted? In the 70s.
In the 70s,
El garaje.
¿En el garaje?
yeah, well, I worked with my father in the service station until I joined the service. You know.
Right. And then when you came back from the service, did you go back to the service station?
I went back for a little while,
Okay.
and then after, the wages were not too good. I think I was making like $40 a week, so it was really bad, you know. So, Mr. Maldonado came over and he asked me to go to work with him in
The Texaco?
no, it's there was a company here that used to make canned food for the GIs for the army,
Oh.
and
Is this Noé Maldonado? Or
no Santos
Santos Maldonado.
Santos, yeah.
hermano de Noé o algo así?
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Hermano de Noé.
And so, this is the Rotel or no?
¿Cómo se llamaba? It was
Y no era Rio Foods de Monte Alto.
no.
Era de la Blanca, donde trabajabas todo.
It was en La Blanca.
Right away foods.
Right Away Foods.
Right Away Foods.
Right, yeah.
And so they made, sí. Bueno, había uno, pero ya después, en los
Yeah,
80s y
right.
90s, en San Carlos, que tiene una bodega.
That's it. That's the one.
Okay.
That's the one. Yeah.
Ok, en San Carlos.
Yeah, yeah.
¿Y usted fue a trabajar allá?
Sí, ahí trabajé porque
20
when I was in the service, I was an aircraft mechanic, you know. So I went over there, and the aircrafts got the pistons and everything, you know.
Ujú.
And over there, they had the same type of machinery, but it was in king size, you know. But there was this, tenía el piston, the rings, and everything. So I said, well, this is my line of work, you know.
Hmm.
So I went over there, and I learned the ups and downs in there. And so they they make me a foreman right away, and
And you were bilingual.
yeah, right.
That
yeah,
was important.
yeah. And then I went out to supervisor there, and whenever people from other places came over, countries, Mexico especially, came over there to show their product, they would make dehydrated food. They had beans dehydrated. They had a way of doing it, and then when you had it was like powder, and you put it in a bowl and put water, and then heat it up, and it would turn back into the original state of what it was. So that when the other company came over, they I was went and showed the people all the machinery,
Oh wow.
what they doing, this and that. You know, and all
What
the kind of
years?
thing.
What years were these?
Oh, it was I think it was 90 from 91 to
Oh, in the 90s.
No, it was
Yeah.
earlier. It was
Earlier?
maybe late.
¿Usted
60s.
trabajó con Lee Westfield? ¿Se acuerda el nombre de Lee Westfield, who was a plant manager there in the 90s? Maybe after your time.
No, one of the measures was se llamaba John Dent.
John
Dent,
Dent.
yeah.
Okay, okay.
And I think it was 1956 when.
Oh, okay, that far back.
You were there like in the late 60s.
No,
Okay.
yeah, no.
Because you were there
I worked in 56, 57, 58, 59 until the 60s. I think it was 60, 61 was my last
Okay,
years there.
and then what did you go do after that?
I went to work for the. Mm, I think I went to work with the high school. I was teaching, not teaching, but I took care of air conditions and everything because that was my.
Refrigeration and air
Re-
conditioning.
And,
Refrigeration.
and how many years did you do that?
About 3 years.
Okay, and then what did you do after that?
I had a heart attack.
You had a heart attack.
Yeah. So.
How old were you when you had a heart attack?
56.
56. Yeah.
So have you been retired since then?
No, I went back to work at the same place because they wanted me because I was the one that handled all I was working with the school then,
Yeah.
and I used to handle all the air conditions in the school, not the whole school, but the area where I was
Mhm.
assigned, and I had everything under control, and then I had my second heart attack. So
How old were you then?
I was about 3 years later. After
59?
Yeah,
60?
yeah.
And
Wow.
Same.
So
and
now we're getting close to like 1999, 2000, más o menos.
yeah,
No,
Mm.
that was,
uh,
uh,
Maybe 90. So you had a second heart attack,
right, yeah.
and then did you retire after that?
Yes, well, I couldn't
told
work no
you
more.
that you couldn't-
I
it-
couldn't work no more. Yeah.
The school was taking on too
No,
much liability on
Right,
you.
yeah.
Was Mary Alice the superintendent or Daniel Hernandez?
Daniel Hernandez.
Él fue el que le dijo ya,
Yeah,
Mr. Pérez ya no puede.
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
But
So,
he suffered a stroke too at the same time,
okay,
so that affected his.
I see. I see.
When I suffered my stroke, for a year I didn't know my wife, my kids.
But then
I wasn't in limbo with them.
But you went through rehab
Actually, no. I don't know.
solo.
Solo.
Slowly.
Slowly, gradually
So-
began to get back my. But I remember all that I had learned, the mechanics, the airplanes, and everything, was erased from my mind.
Really?
So I started going to church, and then I began to rehabilitate myself, because I didn't have no help from nobody.
Really? Okay.
I didn't even know the service was supposed to help us, or maybe there wasn't any help then until later on.
VA, you're talking about the VA.
Yeah, the BA,
He
yeah.
didn't.
So, let's go back to the 70s. What was the motivation for you to get involved in organizing a baseball league?
Bowling. Well, there was a lot of kids that I knew, and they were good players, very good players. And I said, well, why don't you guys form a league, But they tried, but nobody would.
Who tried?
Uh,
Asking around.
One of the name was, I think it was Tocho Cepeda,
Oh, Tocho.
and
Bueno, Tocho el papá de Orlando.
Right, yeah.
Y Tocho cuando Orlando tenía 9 años,
Uh-huh, right, Mom.
10 años,
Mhm.
11 años, Tocho se llevaba a Orlando
Mhm.
y a su sobrino Pino,
All right, yeah.
Arnold Molina.
Mhm.
Tocho would drive them to Edinburg to play in the what's before Pony,
Okay, yeah.
the league before Pony League, Little League.
Little League.
Little League, Little League,
Tocho would take him to Little League, and I remember because I was in the 3rd grade and the 4th grade, and Orlando and Pino were classmates,
Mhm.
and they would always talk about, oh, we played last night, and so I always felt that, wow, what an experience they're getting. How come we don't have that, right? I mean, I don't know that I would have thought about it like that, but I was always like, wow, they're having good experiences, porque tenían a alguien que los llevara y era Tocho
Yeah,
Okay.
el que los llevaba. Tocho siempre traía sombrerito.
yeah, sí.
¿Todavía vive Tocho?
Sí.
Yeah,
Sí?
yeah,
He has some stories,
yeah, sí,
I'm sure.
yeah.
Orlando was my teammate.
Okay.
Orlando Cepeda. Yeah, he was my teammate. And so, so now that's another person I didn't say before. Orlando y Mike, Ricky Garza, y Pino y yo, y Ricky Ramos, y Fernando Garza. ¿Se acuerda de Fernando Garza? Fernie. Fernie era medio travieso. He wasn't a good player.
Fernando Garza, my probably so.
Yeah, Fernie aquí de los, también vivía allí cerca de, él venía siendo como sobrino de Eloy Garza y de esos. Fernie su papá wasn't really in his life, but his stepfather was like a
Okay.
contractor. Su
Okay.
mamá, she's around, she's like in her 70s, no, maybe 80. Pero todos esos era Tocho, el que llevaba a Pino y a Orlando
Okay.
to Edinburg to play.
Tocho helped you over here.
So then what? You said to Tocho, hey, let's start something or what?
Well, when I started organizing the team, Tocho came over he said, hey, let me help you. Like, okay, está bien. And so we got together. There was Molina. Molina was the other guy. So they came over to help, But I think some of them didn't know English too much, So they couldn't communicate it right.
Who was that?
Well, some of them, two of them, one of them, I think was.
Two of the men who came
Yeah.
that were trying to
Yeah.
organize it?
Tocho probably was. He knew.
Tocho was
Yeah,
very
yeah.
bilingual, yeah.
Yeah. But I think Molina, Raúl Molina, didn't. Either that or they didn't want to get involved. Yeah. Like they had to go talk to the coaches and this and that. No. Kept me out of that, So, and I was the head of the team there. So every time we used to, like I used to go out and to the other towns and look for teams so we could play. So after we got organized,
Mm-hmm.
So,
So you had meetings.
yes.
Where did you have meetings?
was usually the houses of the people, you know.
Whose houses?
Probably in my house,
In the park.
in the park.
¿Vivían aquí o en otro lugar?
No, aquí en Elsa.
Pero en esta casa?
No.
Vivían en
no,
otra casa.
Way back, yeah.
Ajá.
And I think we used to go out and practice at the old school. Que ya no hay nada ahí, ¿verdad? There's nothing there.
Mm.
But we used to play there, and whoever grant us the spot, you know, so
Right.
we could practice. Yeah.
So this would have been 75, 1976, maybe?
By then they were living here.
No,
He's going back to.
no, that was way back.
Oh,
in the
way
thir-
back. In the 60s then?
Yeah, I think
Okay,
so,
but
yeah.
but Pony League,
Yeah, it was Pony League. Yeah,
way back in the 60s.
yeah.
No,
Be-
but the pony league that you started.
The Pony League
yeah.
that you started would have been in the 70s.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you know what I'm thinking is that you're thinking of the Twin Cities team that Obi Leal played in.
Okay, there was ahead
That was
of,
60,
yeah,
61.
there was ahead of us. Yeah,
See, that
Yeah.
was like
yeah.
15 years before you founded
Right.
the
yeah.
Pony League.
Yeah.
So you founded the Pony League in the mid 70s. I'm thinking 75, 76. You brought some people together. You went to some sponsors.
Yeah.
You went to Max Fine Furniture. You went to Ulster State Bank. You went to, I think, a Cotton Gin and Ed Couch.
Right. Yeah.
Somebody sponsored the Monte Alto. I don't remember who the sponsor of Monte
I
Alto.
think of
Y no era
Real farm? No.
Real Farms.
Yeah.
It was Real Farms, yeah.
Yeah.
that.
So they put up a little bit of money to buy the uniforms. I don't know if they put up money to buy gloves. No, we all had to bring our gloves
Yeah.
and balls.
No.
And bats.
I had to
I think
buy
You-
those.
you had to
the
buy those.
uniforms that
Yeah.
they bought.
And then, so you must have had meetings to bring people together.
Yes, they had meetings.
Because I remember one meeting
Yeah.
because we had to register.
Oh, yeah.
And so we went somewhere. I don't know if it was
Was that at the baseball park?
maybe at the baseball
Yeah,
park. I
yes.
think that like our parents had to come or an
Yes.
older brother or something,
Yes.
and we had to bring our birth certificates.
Right. Yeah.
I was like 13 years old,
Yeah.
and I think I went with my older brother. We showed our birth certificate, we filled out a form, and then you took all the names, you recruited coaches, you had the sponsors, and then you put all the names in like a jar or something. And you would say, okay, coach, draw. And somebody drew. Okay, so I have Orlando Cepeda. He's going to be on my team.
Okay.
Somebody else drew. Okay, it's going to be, somebody else, Pino Molina on another
Okay.
team. Somebody drew. Y cuando ya tenían los equipos, nos llamaron a los niños. You are on this team, you are on this team. I
Yeah.
mean, that's how I understood
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
they had a drawing for the
Wow.
teams. You would have organized that.
Yeah.
I don't know where you did it, if it was there at the park,
It was at the park.
or if it was in somebody's house, or
Yeah.
so you did that. Then in the summer of 1976, I think, is when the league started.
Okay.
But somebody would have built the field, and that must have been the city of Elsa.
Yeah.
So,
So how did that happen?
I think it was a park.
It was a park already,
It was just a park.
but it
Yeah.
didn't have the backdrop, the
No,
fence.
no,
It didn't have
no,
any of
no,
that.
no.
So what happened?
It was just a park. So we went over there, and they used to play baseball there, but just like near the place, in the like we used to play baseball in Guajardo. And then when we had the team ready, we asked the city, so they began to make the ground and everything, you know. So they make it up real good for us because we already had the thing. We had the sponsors who were the people who had,
So first you had the league, and then the city built the field, or did the city build the field and then you created the league?
well, there was a place where we used to play before, you know,
Mhm.
but it was just made by cleaned up by us. You know?
Yeah.
But after when we got organized, then the city helped us make the field,
Yeah.
and that's when we start playing there.
It was where
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
they used to play.
Y es donde está Mario Leal, ¿verdad? Mario Leal Park.
Yeah, but there was a field over here. There wasn't really a field. It was just a land, and they used to play behind the Salinas house.
I remember that.
Behind my
There was
Salinas.
That's right.
There was a Catholic church
Right.
that
Right.
was first
Yes,
built
there was
right.
a church.
Yes.
by old man Armando Salinas in the
Yes.
40s.
Yes.
Yeah.
He got wood from the Valsian packing shed, from the crates, and he built a church.
Yeah, I remember that church.
Yeah.
And so that little church there, behind it,
Right.
Yeah.
donde había unos pinos allí,
Right,
Yes,
right,
yeah,
right.
that's where the field.
that's where we
Yeah.
used to practice
Yeah.
there. That's one of the places where we practiced.
I played
Yeah.
there with my cousin.
Really?
Baseball, yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, I mean, I was
Yeah.
a girl, but I liked it. So, yeah, the Salinas and Harold and Marco and
Marcos,
They used to live in-
all
Gustavo,
loved
Yeah.
baseball.
Yeah.
So
They
that-
used to live on that side,
Right behind their
and the
house.
other side was the field.
y ellos también eran migrantes.
Oh, yeah.
Ellos iban a los trabajos
Yeah,
a
oh,
Michigan
yeah.
y
And they played there because they were all baseball. Like their dad played baseball in Mexico, so they all had that in their blood.
but why baseball? Why baseball in the 1970s?
Yeah.
Why would you be inspired or motivated? Did somebody tell you, Peno, go create a baseball league?
No, because I felt that the kids needed something to be busy, you know.
In the summers.
And then I said, well, why not make a? And I knew those kids before, you know, and I knew that they could play baseball. So I said, why not make a team, you know? So that's when I started getting them together, and we started playing, you know, right there behind the church there, and I said, well, we're getting better and better and better. So and then we start getting more kids, and when they found out what we were doing, guys from La Villa and other places
It
started
grew.
coming in, you know,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they wanted to play.
Yeah. I was, Pam, before you got here, I was sharing a story that I remember from our second year in Pony League. I think it was our second year. You know, maybe I'm misremembering, maybe it was Colt League, but I think it was our second year in Pony League. Then we had an all-star team at the
Yeah.
end.
I remember that.
And our all-star team went to play at a tournament in Harlingen.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah.
You remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, we went.
Yeah?
Yeah, my brother was playing.
Your brother,
Marco,
Marco.
he was playing too.
Okay, this is Marco, who's Marcos, class of
Marcos.
82, second baseman.
Marco was
How old is he?
He's 61.
Okay, yeah. So then, okay, so yes. So okay, it was our second year,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm 59. I would be a year too young, because he was class of 82, I think.
He was class of 81.
Marco.
My
Okay.
brother. Unless you're talking about Marco Salinas. My
Marco
brother.
Salinas. I'm thinking of
Yeah.
Marco
He
Salinas.
was there too.
Yeah, so he was class of 82. So, okay, all stars. We go to Harlingen.
Yep.
And we're playing, and we beat some team, and then we beat another team, and we go to the finals.
Yes, I remember.
And we played against Harlingen in the finals. You remember this?
I remember that.
And so Harlingen had this kid who was really good, who would become a professional athlete. Do you remember his name?
No, I don't remember his name.
Sammy Garza.
Okay.
And he had a home run to win the game.
Oh yeah, I remember they lost.
And we were really, really good,
Yeah.
but Sammy Garza was better.
Yes. Yes.
One
So-
step ahead.
Well, he was one step ahead. He was 6'2". He was like,
Oh,
know,
yeah.
190 pounds, and you could tell. You know, he was a great baseball player, great football player. He went on to play for the Dallas Cowboys as a quarterback during the strike year.
Oh, wow.
This is back like in '95. Sammy Garza, who had played college football in El Paso, UTEP, and then he was in the Canadian Football League, and the Cowboys picked him up when they went on strike. Sammy Garza,
Wow.
and Sammy Garza hit a home run against us,
Right.
and he beat us. But I think part of what happened is that we had already built up this experience together
Yeah.
and skills, so that when we got to high school, we became better than Sammy Garza's team,
Yeah.
because our team became one of the top ranked teams in the state when I was a senior. We went on like a 16-game winning streak, and we beat we beat somebody and then faced New Braunfels in the state playoffs, and New Braunfels had a kid who threw 90 miles an hour. He then pitched at Pan Am,
Yeah.
Armando Martinez.
Okay.
Okay.
Just like Sammy was better than we were when we were 14, Armando was better than we were when we were 17, 18.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. And so, pero todo eso empezó con nosotros,
Yeah.
con el Pony League.
I used to follow those games because I would be there and said, "That's my
Pero,
team. That's my team."
I remember seeing you all the time. So there were three people who always went to the games, besides family. It was a counselor, Albert Gonzalez.
Uh-huh.
It was Eloy Garza, who always went to the
Okay.
game. And it was Peno Perez. Peno
Yeah.
Perez always followed us.
Yeah, because
Yo me acuerdo de usted muy
They
bien.
wanted
Yeah.
to see how his team was doing.
Yeah,
Pero nunca
what-
se la recargaba. Like, it wasn't like, hey, that was my team. He was just there.
Yeah.
There was something about
Mm,
you know, Peno's humility throughout.
yeah.
Nunca se la recargó. ¿Por qué no?
Well, I was very proud of the
You-
team. Yeah, yeah. After your season was over there, I said, "Man, that was my team when they were kids."
It was.
Yeah, and I remember all of them. You know, I said, "Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
I know all those kids."
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
all those kids. Okay, so catcher, Felix Garza, Pony League.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Pitcher, Mike Garza, Pony League. First base, Ricky Garza, Pony League. Second base, Rubio.
Rubio. Yeah.
Rubio.
Okay.
¿Cómo se llama?
Diego.
Diego Rubio,
Rubio, yeah.
Pony League.
Yeah,
Shortstop, Pino,
yeah.
Molina, Pony League.
Pony.
Third base, Felix Segura, Pony League.
Yeah.
Left field, Danny Segura,
Mhm.
Pony League. Center field, me,
Yeah.
Pony League. Right field, Azael Baldonado,
Okay.
Pony League. Backups, Celso y Cesar Ruiz,
Oh yeah.
Pony League.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Backups, Rolando Segura, Pony League.
Yeah.
The whole team came from the Pony League.
Yeah.
That team of 1983.
I wish I had your memory because I've been the last 2 days. I mean, oh my God, what was their names?
No, I just gave you all the names.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
y ahí los tiene Pam grabados.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Todos esos salimos de Pony League.
Yeah.
Ahora, también se tiene que decir esto, porque cuando llegamos a la Pony League, ya traíamos nosotros una pasión para el béisbol,
Right.
porque todos nosotros nos criamos en los barrios
Uh-huh.
playing baseball,
Playing.
with the exception of two. Orlando and Pino
Mhm.
were in the Edinburg leagues. And so I remember when we started Pony League, Orlando and Pino were the best players because they had years of organized baseball under their belt. We had barrio ball,
But, right.
but the barrio ball was good for us also.
Yeah.
So then that's when we came together in the mid 70s. Wow.
Yeah. Well, I remember we used baseball, and they used to throw the ball, and the strings would come out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They were so old and beaten up.
There was a girl on our team, Ofelia Garcia,
Oh, okay.
la hija de Jaime García, que era contratista. He was a roofer. Jaime García, que vivía aquí por la mile 7, maybe.
I think I remember him.
7th Street.
Yeah,
He was a big guy.
yeah.
Ofelia wanted to play baseball, and so she was allowed to play, and she was on the Elsa State Bank team.
Oh, okay.
Ofelia. Yeah, we put her on right field. At right field. Yeah. Ophelia, she's the head basketball coach at Calchosa High School.
Wow.
Ophelia Griffith.
Okay.
That's
okay.
Ophelia. She was on our team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So she's, a professional coach now.
Oh, wow.
There was another girl, Terry Valdez,
Cherry
Yeah.
Valdez,
la hija de Benny.
Yeah.
She was in the Elsa State Bank team. So the two girls who played were with us, Elsa
Amen.
State Bank.
Okay.
Terry Valdez, que en paz descanse. She died this past year. She had cancer.
Oh.
Yeah. Wow. And she married a boy who played Pony League in Mercedes.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Wow.
Wow.
So I'm remembering things.
Yeah.
I'm remembering things. Yeah. Oh, I missed one player from our varsity team that went deep into the playoffs. Juan. And Juan Serna, yo creo sería. I'm going to remember his last name in a while. But he was a left-handed pitcher also. He was a reserve. He used to come out of the bullpen. Juan. Teníamos tres zurdos. Mike Garza,
Uh-huh.
Rolando Segura, pero Rolando jugaba con Ed Couch, no con nosotros.
Okay.
Pero nosotros teníamos a Mike Garza y también teníamos a Juan. Juan Peña. He was a lefty. Juan Peña. Yeah.
You got good memory.
Yeah, I'm remembering.
Yeah.
I'm remembering. Wow.
Yeah.
This is almost 50 years ago.
Yeah, it's a long time ago. Yeah.
Wow.
Uh,
So, Benno, what other memories do you have of the baseball thing?
Pues, uh,
The games.
Because
Well-
you were not a coach, right? You were the organizer,
I was the organizer. Yeah.
and you would
And-
also recruit the coaches.
Right. Yeah.
Because I remember that it was hard to get coaches. It was like, hey, who wants to coach?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And so then,
Yeah.
and then I remember also that after the draft, the lottery thing, the drawing, habían otros que querían jugar. And so había unos que were recruited by the coaches.
Yeah.
Y ya no había drawing para eso. It was like you recruited somebody, Y cuando llegaron los seguros del norte es cuando se hacía lo de Ed Couch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
La Villa had one.
La Villa had a
and
team.
Monte Alto.
La Villa had a team, Monte Alto had a team, Elsa had a team, Ed Couch had a team.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
remember the colors of the uniforms.
Yeah.
El de Monte Alto era aquel que está casado con una de las mujeres.
Rey Reyes. Rey Reyes.
Right. Yeah.
De Magues Café.
Right. There you go.
Yeah.
That's it.
Rey, yo creo, era el coach de Monte Alto.
De Monte Alto.
Sí, Rey Reyes. Y traía buenos peloteros
Yeah, también.
en Monte Alto, porque Monte Alto, pues, that was a tiny community, and so everybody came together, everybody supported it. Yeah. Monte Alto had a good team.
Yeah.
They had a really good pitcher. Este muchacho, Kevin Garza, he was a right-handed pitcher, and he threw hard. And Kevin Garza is the one that Sammy Garza hit the home run off of.
Really?
Yeah, and then the family moved to Dallas, like right after that.
Mhm.
And so we never had a chance to like have closure with Kevin that, hey, Kevin, it's okay. But now we communicate a lot.
Oh.
Yeah, like I text him, and I haven't seen him in 45 years or more. He works for American Airlines, but it was, that bond that we had when we were
Yeah.
13, 14, Kevin and I communicate. How about that?
Wow, that's amazing.
I haven't seen him since. Pero se acuerda muy bien de mí, yo me acuerdo muy bien de él. Hey, whatever. Yeah.
So awesome.
One time, I was flying on American Airlines, and so we arranged so that I would meet him during my connecting flight, and we had his schedule and the whole thing. It didn't work out because then he was called on, like he's like a mechanic or something for American Airlines, and so no lo vi. Hace como 15 años, no lo vi. His son played college baseball. Kevin's son.
Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Somewhere up there, like in North Texas. So, Benno,
Fíjate que I remember I had some bolillos.
yeah,
They that but I don't remember their names, but they play pro baseball.
Pro baseball.
Yeah, I think from here Ed Caos.
Ah,
Un flaquito alto él.
pero mucho antes que yo.
Oh yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Who would that have been? Pro baseball.
Yeah.
Porque había unos gringuitos que jugaron en Pony, pero después de que yo jugué.
Sí.
Después. No habían muchos.
No.
Porque para ese entonces ya se habían ido todos.
After me, somebody else took over, ¿verdad? And then they start using girls también.
Ajá.
So, ya dije, no, pues I can't
No,
coach girls.
but I'm telling you, when I played, we had two girls.
Yeah.
Terry Valdez, Ofelia Garcia.
Yeah.
They were on the team. And whenever we find a picture, we're going to see that they were on the team.
Yeah.
I wish I knew if anybody
I think the parents or they themselves. I'm gonna talk to Felix tomorrow. I'm gonna meet him for breakfast. We get together. Class of '83 gets together once a month.
Okay.
And aquí donde dijimos que era este restaurante aquí en
Gibby's?
right. ¿Quién?
Not Gibby's?
No. The old what used to be la Bonita Inn is
Oh.
now
The one over here.
Oh.
Alameda.
Alameda,
Ahí
okay.
nos juntamos en
Yeah.
la Alameda. Yo no voy todas las juntas, pero mañana sí puedo ir. Estoy ocupado los sábados a
Yeah.
veces, pero de vez en cuando me junto con
Yeah.
ellos. Ya. Pero, muchas gracias.
Oh, thank you,
no
thank you
nada
very-
más por la entrevista
Yeah.
y por contar la historia de usted personal. I mean, this becomes an oral history, eh?
Yeah.
But also for your contribution to the community and to people like me.
Yeah.
And a bunch of kids, several generations of kids that you help to set up for a good life.
Yeah. Mhm.
How do you feel about that?
Oh, I feel proud that when I used to see you guys, I say that he was in my team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You set us up very nicely. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a question, or it's something that maybe we didn't talk about that we need to?
No, I think pretty much you got everything.
How many kids did you have? You and your wife, how many children?
Uh,
6
Six.
6. Yeah.
and twins. They had
And twins.
The last ones were twins.
And can you name them? Can you name your kids?
Oh.
A ver, ayúdale.
Come on, Dad.
The oldest?
Es Efren.
Efren.
Yeah.
Marco.
Marcos.
Marcos.
Iracema.
Iracema?
Yeah. And my twins were Nora and Norma.
And Juan.
And Juan.
So who's the person I saw at the high school when I went to Walo Basan's funeral?
My daughter.
That's your daughter.
My daughter. Because she told me about
Yeah.
you wanting to interview him.
Yeah,
That's
because
my
she
daughter.
told me, my grandpa, and then I said, "Who's your grandpa?" She said, "I said, Peno Perez was like one of the founders of the Pony League."
That's my daughter.
And then
Valerie.
who sent me a note? You did, right?
I did. She sent me.
Oh, yeah.
She gave me your card.
Yes,
Because I believe you gave her your card.
yes.
And then she gave it to me and she says, Mom, you need to call him. They want to interview Grandpa. Da, da, da.
Yes.
I said, okay. So
Yeah.
that's how. Yeah. She's
That's
my
how.
daughter.
That's how that happened. What's your daughter's name?
Valerie. Valerie Roman. She was Roman. She's married to Gabriel Garcia. She works at the Salinas Funeral Home.
Okay, so you have another daughter who was my student also,
Yeah,
or who was?
Vanessa was
Vanessa.
the one that was your student.
Vanessa
that
was, yes, that we got in a crash going to Sal del Rey.
Yeah.
Yes. I
Thank you,
remember that
thank you
day.
for not suing me. on that.
I remember running over there because I was working at LBJ Elementary.
Okay.
And they called me, and I was like, "What?" And so I
Yeah.
remember going over there and to the hospital.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, when I was a teacher at Coach also, I think I was a good teacher. But part of why I was a good teacher is I would take my students out of the classroom. We'd go to the parking lot to do this. We go to Casa Video to do that. We go here, we go there. To give my students experiences outside of the classroom. And it was such a rich learning environment.
Yeah.
And I think she was actually in the class with Dr. Rocha. ¿Te acuerdas de eso?
I think
De un
so,
Dr.
yeah.
Rocha, yeah. So Dr. Rocha, with that class, it was a little bit different because Dr. Rocha had them most of the time, and then I would have them once or twice a week. But I wanted them to have experiences, but classroom, you know. Yeah. And so, la única vez que pasó donde me llamaron la atención y me dijeron, "Ay, ya no hagas eso." Y cuando me dijeron ya no, dije yo, okay, I'll leave it alone. But I had like 5 years of these unbelievable experiences, including taking kids to New York, to visit colleges, taking them to California. Yo los llevaba a mis alumnos a que fueran a tener experiencias, a que visitaran universidades y todo eso. Nunca tuvimos un problema hasta el 97, yo creo, cuando fuimos a visitar la Sal del Rey for class.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I had like one parent go with us, I think, and so one parent took a vehicle, and then I took another vehicle, and then a student took another vehicle. And it got so dusty, so,
Yeah,
¿sabes
okay.
qué? Voy a apagar esto porque I'm incriminating
Yeah.
myself. Pero gracias,
Yeah,
voy a
thank you.
terminar la
Thank
historia
you.
aquí, okay.